Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality. Hello one and all, welcome to Cymatic TV, and this is your midweek energy update with yours truly, Tom Lawless. So what's been happening since Friday last week? Quite a bit really, and we're going to be talking about this solar flare that's kicked off and hitting in our direction, straight in the direction of the Earth. It's combined with a coronal hole at the same time, and we'll be going into all of that, of how it might be affecting us over these coming few days. It should be affecting you pretty much when this video goes out, if not just before actually. I would have thought we'd start feeling the pressure earlier on today. That's Wednesday the 9th of December. So let's have a quick squiz of what actually happened. Here we have Soho. So the round white circle is the size of the sun. The Earth is equivalent of a pinprick. And as you can see it coming through the 7th, it starts building up. And there it is, that flash that comes out there, that bit of dust that we can see heading our way, the direction of the Earth at the moment. And this has been the first time we've had a solar flare coming in the direction of the Earth, a reasonable sized one, because it was only a high level, I think it was a C9, so it wasn't an M flare, so it wasn't as big as the flare we got last week, but this is really solar cycle 25 kicking off, and you're going to have to expect these sort of things over the next 3 to 5 years coming through. So the vibration is really going to pick up for people over the next, I'd say the next sort of 25-30 days, and it will really start hitting, really start to think about what's going on. So let's just see this in various different aspects. On the top left, you can see that sunspot in the middle. It's getting very electrical until it sort of hits off just about now. There it goes there. And you can also, that was a sunspot that didn't look as if it was really had that much in the way of mixing, as you can see in the top section here, which shows the magnetic fields. Just let it roll through again as it comes through. As it's coming through here, there it is there, it kicks off, and you can only really see it in this section here. So it was the trailing blue magnetic field that was trying to, if you like, that's the positive magnetic fields, trying to assert itself on the sunspot, and it sort of threw it back out, simply because it was out of balance, out of whack. So it certainly wasn't on the cards for coming through. So it was a bit of a surprise for everyone, but an absolutely beautiful event. Here we can see here this actual event coming through up on the top left hand here. It flies out here. This is the Earth here, and you can see it is quite literally a direct hit. It actually takes out that arm there that was pushing through at the same time. So we've got various things accumulating. As I said, we had a coronal hole that sort of came in beforehand, that started setting off in our direction beforehand, about 2 or 3 days beforehand. But at the same time, we had also the solar sheet, which is these arms that you can see, this one here, this one here, and this one here. We were going through that. So that sort of kicked in through. We can sort of see that arm here coming through here, combined a little bit with the old coronal hole that was coming through. And this is the section here that we're sort of, the arm that was actually really coming through here on the December the 9th. And this is where the solar flare kicked off just in the morning of, in the afternoon of the 8th. So it would have been around about an American time. It would have been in the morning of the 8th. In the UK and Europe, we're looking at the afternoon. So Australia, you were probably all tucked up in your beds, I guess, at that stage. But you would be able to feel a slight tug coming through on the 7th or the 8th, the end of the 7th or the 8th. You might feel a sort of certain changing that was happening yesterday in the mood of everybody around us. A real stark realization that things are picking up, things are getting a little bit more intense, a little bit more sort of sped up. Here we have down in the bottom left the KP, the X-ray flux, sorry. And this just showing it didn't quite get into M flare. It was a very quick one. It lasted a long time, so there was a constant buzzing afterwards that was coming out through it. Yeah. So let's see, did it affect the Earth's vibration, and let's see how it affected the chakras of the Earth. So this is last Friday, where we had the new rhythms that were coming back in after a little bit of a reset that was going on that should have finished really last weekend with the throat and the third eye chakra. And we got back to our old friends, basically, the root, solar plexus, and the sacrum. That was on the 4th. Here we have the 5th, same similar sort of thing. But what is an interesting thing is we do have a little bit more coming on the heart chakra. So this is going to be, it's going to pull, although it's going to be very concrete things, so, like sorting shit out, sorting out where I live and everything like that. It's also going to it's going to pull a little bit on your heart during this period. And then we can still see what's going on on the third eye and the throat chakra. So we're still expressing a little bit more about these ideas. Here we have the 6th. So this would have been on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is Sunday. So Sunday should have been talking a little bit more about what you want, how you want it. It's all to do a little bit with the heart. So it might be a little bit to do with the relations side of things. But there is a bit of root in there. So it's all to do mechanically as well with what's going on and how you position yourselves in life. Yeah. On the 7th, so this is the Monday. Okay, so we get back to that old rhythm, not very strong happening, really mainly just in the root, the plexus solis, and the sacrum, really. So we've still got to deal with stuff. And this dealing with stuff has been over the last sort of 2 or 3 years, really. Repositioning ourselves for the change of vibration that is happening at the moment. And it's going to happen over the next few years. And that's all to do with that polar shift. If you haven't seen the last update on the polar shift and the solar flash, please go back into the playlist and have a look at that and go into that a bit more detail. And that talks about the different vibrations that are coming through and the change of vibration that's coming through. And we should get a little bit more aware of what's going on. So this was yesterday. Look at that running up from the root chakra, going right up through Mexico, up to the sacrum. So, yesterday was really sifting through the nitty and gritty, getting things of positioning of where you want to be, how you want it to be, and etc. There was a little bit on the throat and the third eye, so it could have given you a bit more sort of expressions. I'm myself personally sorting my accommodation positions out at the moment, so that's helped me there position myself a little bit easier and express myself of how I want things and how I want my life to be, and etc. So today, similar sort of situation. This is only the morning sort of shakes and quakes, as it were, but we're getting back to that root and sacrum. So if you've got stuff to deal with, now is a good time. You should get a good vibration to deal with this, yeah? It should be getting a little bit more zippy, a little bit more sort of up with a beat. And if you do that, if you do confront things in life and take it full on and deal with it as it turns up before you, you should have the energy to deal with this. You should have that vibrationary sort of get up and go to deal with this, yeah? And this solar flare will help, excuse me, will help clear the air. Yeah. So and it should make give us a clean page to start writing on. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very interesting what happens over the next few days. Yeah. This solar flare, as I say, was coming in, was a combination of several things. Yeah. We had that coronal hole, which you can see here. It looks a little bit like a lion's head on the side. Yeah, that was really coming through since the weekend, since Sunday. The wind was all in our direction, and this solar flare just came in behind it, so it's compacting it even more and forcing it upon the Earth. So this is a combination of various different vibrations. So we have the initial vibration, which is the raison d'etre, which is that galactic sheet, those arms that I showed you, that was coming through. And then we have the coronal hole, which is a lot more sort of heavier vibration. It's one of the prana winds, the winds of the prana, yeah. And it's a much heavier vibration. So you're talking root, sacrum, and plexus solis. That's been kicking through a lot. But it has also, we've got that zippy vibration of the electricity that's picking up on the sun in this solar cycle 25 as we come through. And that vibration is really pushing it through at the end. So you may find that you've got heavy stuff to deal with, but it's okay. You're going to have that vibration. You're going to have that speed and agility to deal with it, yeah? But don't ignore it. Don't just ride the wave over it, because if you do, that's still going to be there and you will get pulled back into it. So if you've got stuff to deal with, now is the moment to deal with it. Crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and getting it sorted, I got my book out some time ago called The Event. It's one of the... it's a fictional story, but it ties into a lot of reality of what's going on. It was originally written back in 1998. Haven't changed much of the actual events that happened in the book, and it's quite mad that a lot of the things are actually happening now that I wrote about sort of 22 years ago. So it talks about in this event this similar sort of thing. This is almost as if we're going through a dry run at the moment. It goes into much more detail about the solar event in that book, which you can get links to down below to buy from Amazon and etc. But it talks about this compacting of several different vibrations, which then has a geological effect upon the Earth and obviously a spiritual effect upon the Earth. So, if you want to learn a lot more about it, go out and get that book. As I say, links are down there below. It'll help you understand, because this is just a dry run. In this solar 25, cycle 25 that we're going through, it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to get a lot more of these compacting events. And it's going to put a lot more pressure upon the Earth's magnetic fields, which is already diverting. And you've got poles moving about all over the place at the moment. And this will happen even more. So basically, for this week, you may have found that there was a sort of calm before the storm on the Sunday and the Monday, but you could feel there was something in the vibration underneath. And then we started hitting Tuesday evening, Tuesday during the day. That's when things started coming to the surface, and it should be starting to really impact you today. So you can actually sort of see the possible futures, possible futures of what's coming out of this. And this vibration is there to help you, but you cannot ignore things around you. If you do, that's when you're going to have problems, I think. You're going to be pulled back into old stuff which should have been dealt with. So I know it's tough. I did a video on my Facebook page last night about the waking up and how it's not as easy as it's not all love and light and stuff like that. It is work. It's the beginning of the journey. If you want to have a look at that, go to my Facebook page, which you'll find links below. You can befriend me down there to get even more sort of extra tidbits and updates and stuff like that, which I tend to load up there. But yeah, if you've got stuff to deal with, now is the time to do it. There's a good vibration coming our way. It will affect, one thing I haven't gone through, it will affect a little bit in the way of the electromagnetic fields, so therefore anything to do with digital. So some satellites might be affected, GPS and that sort of thing. You might have complications over tonight and tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But I don't think it's going to have major effects on infrastructures and stuff like that. But it is a bit of an alarm call. It's almost the sun sort of kind of going, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" So make sure you get ready. Yeah. If you like this video, please say so. Please click that thumbs up. Also subscribe if you're not subscribed. Therefore, I do two updates per week. I'm probably going to going up to 3 updates per week shortly. So please do subscribe. Click that bell so then you get notifications of when the new videos come out and what have you, and share it as well, so it gets information gets out there. If we all start getting onto the same sort of vibration, yeah, we're completely different, and everybody interprets it, has a different form of way of integrating this vibration. But if we share this sort of video and we get these everybody on pretty much on the same sort of page in the way of vibration, it's going to help us collectively and individually to go on. So please join in, share it to your Facebook page, share it to your Instagram. It is really important. Okay? In the meantime, that has been your midweek energy update, and I will see you soon. Ciao for now.